Imagine waking up to a sunrise that paints the edge of the world in impossible colors, a silent, breathtaking explosion of light. Now, imagine seeing it again just 90 minutes later. For the astronauts aboard the International Space Station, this isn't a once-in-a-lifetime view. It's a daily reality. As the station whips around the planet at 17,500 miles an hour, they witness about 16 sunrises and sunsets every single day. This constant, beautiful whiplash is a relentless reminder of just how far they are from everything and everyone they've ever known. This isn't just a story about groundbreaking science and dazzling spacewalks. This is the untold human experience. It's a story of survival, of adaptation, and of the profound, often brutal challenges of living in the most alien environment imaginable. It's the story of what it truly means to be human when you're no longer on Earth. Before they ever float through its hatches, astronauts train for years, preparing for the knowns and unknowns of space. But no simulator can fully prepare you for the moment the roaring violence of launch gives way to the silent, persistent strangeness of microgravity. The International Space Station, a sprawling technological marvel roughly the length of an American football field, becomes home. Here, there's no up or down, only walls, floors, and ceilings that are all interchangeable surfaces for work and movement. Astronauts learn to glide hand over hand along railings to get around, sometimes hooking their feet to brace themselves, all part of a strange, three-dimensional ballet that becomes second nature. Rooms that might feel small on Earth suddenly feel vast as every surface becomes usable space. But this home has its own peculiar character. It is never truly silent. The background noise is a constant humming companion, the sound of fans, pumps, and filters. It's the sound of the life support systems working tirelessly to keep you alive. Many astronauts compare it to living inside a giant machine, a persistent reminder of the thin metal shell separating them from the lethal void outside. And in this strange new home, the first few days are often a comedy of errors. Seasoned astronauts recall their initial time in orbit simply losing things: a pen, a tool, a camera. If it isn't tethered, clipped, or velcroed down, it will gently float away, beginning its own silent orbit inside the station, waiting for be rediscovered days later lodged in an unexpected corner. This is the first and most fundamental lesson of life in space. Gravity is a luxury you never knew you had, and its absence changes everything. On Earth, our bodies are in a constant, invisible war with gravity. In space, that war is over, and the body, in its incredible efficiency, begins to surrender its earthly defenses. Without the constant load of gravity, muscles start to atrophy. Left unchecked, astronauts on long-duration missions could lose a significant percentage of their muscle mass. An even more insidious enemy is bone density loss. On Earth, the simple act of walking puts stress on our skeleton, signaling the body to maintain strong bones. In microgravity, that signal disappears. In the past, astronauts lost bone density at an alarming rate of 1 to 1.5% per month in key weight-bearing bones. For comparison, an elderly person with osteoporosis might lose at that rate per year. To fight this silent decay, every astronaut becomes a dedicated athlete. For about 2 hours every day, they engage in one of the most critical parts of their mission: exercise. This isn't a casual workout, it's a fight for their future health, ensuring they can walk on Earth upon their return.
The ISS gym is a marvel of engineering. There's a treadmill, officially called T2 but famously named Colbert after the comedian Stephen Colbert, but you can't just run on it. Astronauts have to strap themselves in with a harness system that pulls them down onto the running surface to simulate gravity's impact. There is a stationary bike called CVS, but it has no seat. Why would you need one? Astronauts just clip their shoes to the pedals. Perhaps the most impressive piece of equipment is the ARED, the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device. This machine uses powerful vacuum cylinders to create up to 600 pounds of resistance, allowing astronauts to perform crucial weightlifting exercises like squats and deadlifts. Early space missions showed that low-intensity exercise wasn't enough. This kind of high-intensity resistance training is essential to trick the body into thinking it's still fighting gravity. Beyond bone and muscle, microgravity rewires the entire circulatory system. Fluids shift upwards, leading to what astronauts call puffy head bird legs syndrome. They get constantly stuffy noses, and their faces appear swollen while their legs get thinner. This fluid shift can also dull their sense of taste, which is why many astronauts report a craving for spicy food. It's one of the few things that can cut through the congestion. The body is a remarkable machine of adaptation, but on the ISS, it's adapting to an environment it was never meant for. The physical battle is relentless, but the psychological war can be just as demanding. The ISS is a confined space, shared with a small, international crew for months on end, hundreds of miles from home. Not millions, as one might imagine, but still incredibly far. With over 388 cubic meters of habitable volume, it's often compared to a 6-bedroom house, but it's one you can never leave. NASA and its partners know that crew psychology is critical. Stress and monotony are constant threats. In early long-duration flights, Russian cosmonauts described a condition called asthenia, marked by fatigue and irritability. While the term isn't a standard diagnosis today, the underlying risks of stress and interpersonal friction are taken very seriously. To combat this, a strict routine is maintained. The crew operates on Coordinated Universal Time (UTC) to create a stable 24-hour cycle. Their schedule, planned meticulously by Mission Control, runs from about 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and includes not just science experiments, but also setup, meals, and mandatory exercise. Connection to Earth is a lifeline. Astronauts have scheduled private video conferences with their families, a precious link to home. They can send emails and even make phone calls. Weekends offer a slight reprieve, with time for cleaning, hobbies, and shared meals that are vital for crew morale. But there is another transformative psychological phenomenon, the overview effect. Seeing the Earth from above, a vibrant living sphere hanging in the blackness, changes you. From 250 miles up, the political borders that divide us are invisible. You see the planet not as a collection of countries, but as a single interconnected system protected by a stunningly thin, fragile blue line of atmosphere. Astronauts often speak of an overwhelming feeling of unity and a profound sense of Earth's fragility. As astronaut Suni Williams said, "It really is difficult for me to imagine people on Earth not getting along together. It just changes your perspective." While astronauts conduct cutting-edge science, the simple acts of daily life become complex, sometimes bizarre challenges. Take sleep. How do you sleep when you can't lie down? Astronauts retreat to small, private crew cabins about the size of a phone booth. They zip themselves into a sleeping bag strapped to a wall. Any wall will do. To block out the station's constant hum and the 16 daily sunrises, they wear earplugs and sleep masks. But the most critical part is ventilation. Since warm air doesn't rise, the carbon dioxide you exhale can form an invisible, suffocating bubble around your head. Astronauts have to sleep near an air vent to avoid waking up gasping for air with a splitting headache. Then there's the morning routine. Forget a refreshing shower. There are no showers on the ISS, as water would just float away. Instead, astronauts use wet towels and rinseless body wash. To wash their hair, they use a no-rinse shampoo, massage it in, and then towel it dry. Brushing teeth is also an adventure. They have a simple choice: swallow the toothpaste or spit it into a towel. Most just swallow. Food is another challenge. The galley is the social heart of the station, but there's no real cooking. Most food is pre-packaged and preserved. Crumbs are a serious hazard, as they can float into delicate equipment, so bread is avoided in favor of tortillas. Even salt and pepper are suspended in liquid to keep tiny grains from flying everywhere. And finally, the space toilet. It's an engineering marvel that uses suction, not gravity, to do its job. It has a funnel for urine and a small seat for solid waste. Using it correctly requires precision and restraints to ensure you don't float away. It's a highly technical process for the most basic of human functions.
Through all these daily struggles runs a powerful unifying thread: purpose. The men and women on the ISS endure these hardships because they are at the forefront of human exploration.
Their own bodies are subjects in the grand experiment of spaceflight, but their minds and hands are conducting hundreds of other experiments that benefit all of us back on Earth. Their workdays are packed. One moment they might be studying how plants grow in space, and the next they're collecting their own blood samples for medical research. And then there are the spacewalks. An extravehicular activity, or EVA, is one of the most demanding tasks an astronaut can undertake. It takes hours just to get into the complex, multi-layered spacesuit, essentially a personalized spacecraft. For up to 8 hours, they work outside the station, performing intricate repairs and upgrades, exposed to the vacuum of space and extreme temperatures. It is the ultimate test of training, focus, and human endurance. The story of life on the ISS is a testament to what humans can achieve when we push the boundaries of what's possible. It's a story of science, but more than that, it's a story of the human spirit. If you've been captivated by this journey into the untold human experience of surviving space, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration. And let us know in the comments, what aspect of living in space do you find most fascinating or most challenging? Life aboard the International Space Station is a profound paradox. It is a place of breathtaking beauty and relentless physical hardship. It is an environment of extreme isolation that fosters a unique sense of global unity. It pushes the human body and mind to their absolute limits, and in doing so, reveals our remarkable capacity for adaptation. The men and women who call the ISS their temporary home are not just scientists and engineers. They are pioneers living on the very edge of human experience. They float through their days in a world without weight, wash without water, and sleep tethered to a wall as the Earth spins below. Their story is more than a collection of strange facts about life in zero-G. It is a powerful narrative about resilience, ingenuity, and the unyielding human drive to explore, paving the way for humanity's next giant leap into the cosmos.